So this video is all about chalk lines. And if you've used a chalk line before, then you can safely skip this video. You really don't need to watch this. It's just a basic introduction for people who have never used a chalk line before. This is one here. It's brand new. And the way a chalk line works is that the line, the string inside, gets impregnated with chalk. And as with any string, you can kind of pull it tight and then you snap it and it leaves a line. A straight line, as long as you want. That's really what a chalk line does. It didn't leave a straight line there because this is a brand new chalk line that I intentionally want to show you how it works and how the care and feeding of your chalk line. So if you look inside, you will see that there's a spool in there. It's full of string, special string, strong, that is going to last a long time, but also absorb chalk. And here's the way the chalk comes. It's just a powder, a bottle of powdered chalk. You can get it in different colors. Blue is common. Red is common. Black is not so common. I don't know what they do to black, but it's quite a bit more indelible. The marks don't come off so well with black. It's a much more permanent thing. So I'll fill this up in a minute, but before I do, look at how the string goes through this sort of fluffy thing there. And that scrapes off the excess chalk powder. So it's only the powder that's right in the fibers of the string that actually make it out to your surface. So it just keeps things a little bit neater. And the way this works too is if I try to pull this out, the handle's going to turn. And I mean, you can do that if you want. But most chalk lines are made so that if you press the middle portion, you're disconnecting the spool inside with the crank mechanism, so you can pull without having to crank the handle. You can also lock it in position, and you can use this for a plumb bob. A plumb bob is a way of transferring a plumb position. So when this stops moving, it's going to rest on my bench here, directly underneath where my hands are holding the string. And sometimes you want to do that. In the case of finishing a basement, the time you'd want to do that is if you were using the basement panels, the kind that require a cleat to hold them on the top and the bottom. This is described in the course. So you are going to need to have those cleats directly plumb one to the other. And that's where a plumb bob like this, sorry, that's where a chalk line like this would come in useful as a plumb bob. But most of the time it's a marking tool. And we'll just take a look here in a second. I'll show you how this fills up here with chalk. So you just kind of, see if you can see this here, just squirt it. Basically about as full as you can. And being a new chalk line, it's going to have to work its way in and around the string. So it might take a couple of fillings before it's behaving properly. But yeah, let's see how that works. So the chalk line's loaded and ready to go, and as I said, the purpose of it is to make long straight lines for you to follow for various things. When you're working in the basement, one application for that might be the installation of these floor tiles, these subfloor tiles. You're going to want to snap a chalk line on the floor in order to have something straight to follow, because as I mentioned in the course, you can't count on basement walls being straight. So let's just see. So the string isn't as saturated as it's going to be when it gets to be new, but so you just kind of hook it over, hold it down, and then you've got your line. It's not a permanent line, but it serves the purpose, and it does the job quite well.